You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps, and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Hello and welcome to another juicy episode of Unstoppable Actors. I'm so excited you are listening to this one because we are going to be exploring all things small roles, and I have got so much to unpack with this, and I'm hoping to inspire and motivate you by the end of this episode. There are definitely some things in this episode that I hadn't learned in my own professional training when it came to small roles, so I'm so excited to pass this knowledge on to you. We've also got exciting news that we are now on Apple Podcasts, woohoo! As well as Spotify and, of course, our studio website. So where are you listening to us? Come over to our Instagram page, which is at Standby Method Acting Studio. Drop a DM and let me know. And also let me know about your journey with acting so far. It's always so exciting for me to be able to put faces to the listeners. So I would love to hear where you are listening, whether it's Spotify, Apple, our website, and even where you are in the world, and what your journey with acting has been so far. I really love chatting to you all, and so many of you do come into the DMs, and it's always so interesting and fascinating to hear about your journey and your experiences so far with acting. I also want to let you know that we have got a really exciting quiz called What Type of Actor Are You? It's brand new, it's free, it's so insightful and accurate and so much fun. Have you taken it yet? What I love about this is that you find out what's already working for you with your acting and what might be holding you back, so you can really get that knowledge that you need to start to level up and improve fast. And I'm so excited about this. Everybody who takes the quiz, I have given you free access to the pre-scene power-up, which shows you how to get into character faster and what to do before your scene start, so you are fully in the moment. It is so exciting. So if you haven't already taken the What Type of Actor Are You quiz, please go and click the link in this episode description directly underneath where you've pressed play, because it is so insightful and I'm so excited for you to find out all of this information and, of course, get the pre-scene power up. So we're talking about small roles today, and this is such a fascinating topic. The reason I'm talking about this is because it came up last week in class with one of the actresses in there in the 10-week method acting program, and she told me that she's been cast in a stage play outside of the classes, and she's playing a role that is very small, and she didn't feel very excited, enthusiastic, or passionate about this role. So we dug deep together to figure out what was going on. And she was very, very honest with me, which I always love, because when you're honest, we can always figure out a plan or a solution. But she did tell me she wasn't taking it as seriously as she would have done a bigger role or other roles that she's played. It turned out that the other actresses who had got bigger roles than her were younger than her. So she had started to equate that to meaning her being older was why she'd been given a smaller role in her eyes, and why the other actresses have been given bigger roles. And that was really leading into her not feeling excited at all. And I want to just share with you that these kind of thought processes and these feelings, not feeling excited about a small role, comparing yourself to others, trying to create a narrative around why you've been given a small role, are all completely normal. And what this is our jealous side coming out. Now, jealousy isn't a bad thing. It's a feeling, it's an emotion like any other, like anger, joy, surprise, excitement. It's simply a feeling. But society shames us for feeling it. So we tend to hide it, and we tend to think there's something wrong with us, or we're bad if we feel jealous, but there isn't. It's absolutely okay to feel jealous as long as we don't let it destroy us. That's the key thing here. Now, in my professional training, one thing I did learn, which I would love to pass on to you, is that there are no small roles, only small actors. And this means that we should approach every single role, no matter how many lines we've got, no matter how much screen or stage time we've got, in exactly the same way. And I'm going to come to this a little later on from a craft perspective of why we should be doing that. But I want to come at this from a business angle first and share something really inspiring. And this is not a one-off story. This happens quite a lot for actors. So many, many years ago, as in lots of years ago, I worked with the actor Stephen Graham, and he mentioned that he'd had a small role in a very well-known film, like a globally recognised film with a very high-profile director. But the key thing here is the role was small. But he worked so hard because he said he took the approach that if he did well with this role, the director might cast him in something else, which is a little bit more significant. And that did happen. The same director cast him in another production, only this time he was playing the lead in it. And this is what catapulted his career. So we do have to approach every single role that we're playing, every single job that we're given as an actor, from a business mindset that we don't know where each role is leading to, no matter how big or small it is. And I find that so inspiring, and I hope you do too. So this actress was really honest with me, and she shared with me that she'd counted the lines and she had 11 lines. And we figured out that this had started to exacerbate these feelings of not feeling very excited or enthusiastic about the role. And I don't recommend counting the lines. I don't recommend counting them when you've got tons of lines, when you've got an average amount of lines, or when you've got one line. I just do not recommend counting them, because either way, you are going to cause yourself stress. So if you've got 1,039 lines, you are going to get stressed out going, oh my God, I've got 1,039 lines to learn. How am I ever going to do it? Where will I find the time? Will I remember them all? That's a lot of lines to learn. So that will stress you out. And then on the opposite end of the scale, if we go to having 3 lines, 5 lines, 10 lines, you will start to compare yourself and go, oh, why have I only got this amount of lines? That's not very many lines. And you'll feel like you're insignificant, but you're not. You're really not. So I don't recommend counting lines for those reasons, but also because in method acting, we approach every character with the mindset that we are creating a fully fleshed out human being, one who not only speaks but behaves as well, which is what so many actors forget. We have to figure out what their behaviour is, because acting is a visual art. So the amount of lines that you have are completely irrelevant. And also as well, we have to remember we're holding a mirror up to society as actors. We are showing the world themselves through characters. We are showing the world how they behave. So the amount of lines that you have mean nothing. Now, from a craft perspective, so we've already explored the business perspective of this being something that could lead you to your breakthrough role or bigger roles. But from a craft perspective, we really want to be approaching this with the question or the word, why? Why are they not speaking as much? Are they holding something back? Are they more of a person who says less, but what they say is very powerful and impactful? Or have they learned to hide their voice? Have they been told somewhere in their past that they're not important, their voice is not important, or there's problems with their voice? And has this now led to them struggling with words, struggling with expressing themselves? When we start asking why, it makes the character fun. You get to open up your imagination because you're being curious. And you can also create a powerful backstory for them. Now, you can create a powerful backstory for all roles that you play, no matter how many lines you've got. But as there's less clues in the script, you get to explore their backstory with full permission to use your imagination. And this is so exciting, super exciting. This actress really, really, really wanted to use the animal exercise because that's the module she's currently training on the 10-week method acting program. And she wanted to be able to apply that to this role, but she thought she couldn't because of the few lines that she had. And here's the thing, you can use any method acting technique on all roles. The amount of lines or stage and screen time you have is absolutely irrelevant. Because when you have less lines, this actually works in your favour. Because when you have less lines, there's less lines to worry about learning and remembering. So this is opening up more time and space for you to use your other method acting techniques and refine them and hone them and practice them and get better at them. And it's a pressure-free way to do that. Because here's the thing, when you've got more lines, there's more to learn, more to remember, which means spending longer on learning the lines, whereas a smaller amount of lines frees up that time to do more prep and to dive into the method acting techniques that are going to help you create a powerful character. I want to leave you with this. If you choose not to take a role seriously, you could end up cutting your nose off to spite your face. Now, I know we've got listeners all around the world, not just in the UK. So this is an English idiom, and I appreciate you might be thinking, Louise, what are you talking about if you've never heard that saying before? It basically means you're being self-destructive and taking revenge. And we know through our passion and love for acting, we know through characters we've played that every action our character takes has a consequence. This is also the same for us as actors. So not doing the work means a director may lose trust in you. Now, I'm not saying they absolutely will, but that could happen. Whereas doing the work can really, really impress them, like it did in that example that I gave with Stephen Graham. It means when you do the work, even with a role with less lines, you get to surprise everyone. And what I really want you to remember is that every character you play, you are advertising yourself as an actor. You are advertising and showing people the type of actor you are, and they will remember that. What you put out there gives people an impression of you. So I'm going to leave you with the question, what impression do you want people to have of you? And only you know the answer to that. Now, before I do go, I'm just going to share very quickly, we have got applications open for the summer 10-week method acting program, which dives into an incredible set of method acting exercises called Objects of Attention. This is so good. You know, the focus that those A-list actors have, where they're so intense in scenes and it really draws you in. Objects of Attention gives you that. So I have left the link in the description for you to go and check out the 10-week method acting program that's happening in summer. And also remember to take that What Type of Actor Are You quiz if you haven't already, because that is just so insightful. I've left the link to both of these in the show description. So go ahead, go and check those out, and I will see you in the quiz and in the next episode. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode, and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.